Hello, royalties of peace turning the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. How we all doing today? Today is March 15 of 2023. Yes, it's my water day. Our video of today, a Wednesday video. I try for us to have a video on Wednesday because it's my water day and reevaluation on self and understanding my surrounding. Hopefully, you're all doing the same. Understanding our surrounding is not only outside but also inside. And understanding that it's all about our physical mind and the inside mind. The inside mind, our true being that never dies and always of perfect peace. The true identity of us is the inside mind. Some call it spiritual mind, some call it the invisible of invisible mind, I could say, but it is the mind that has no battlefield. That is the mind that judges the outside mind. Some call it the inside mind. So the physical mind will be the outside mind, the mind that judges yourself, the mind you use to do math and that has the two sides called the right and the left. The inside mind is one, and it is the mind of perfect peace that has no work. The outside mind more of like the left and the right hand. The outside mind is more of like the left and the right hand doing work. And the left and right hand doing work is only to confirm what the inside mind has already in store. The confirmation of the answer. When we solve a problem, we try to get back to the problem, the solution, to testify that our solution is perfect, is expected, and is the solid answer to the problem. So whatever is going on with the physical mind or the outside mind is only to affirm what the inside mind has already established of solution, impossible to be changed. Perfect peace, affirming self. Our fall from the complicated state is only the work state of the affirming of the solution we are. Therefore, feeling like divided in pieces, like a broken glass, trying to get back to one, or drops of water trying to get back to one, or the ripple that is trying to reverse to battlefield free our evaporation from the complicated state to the uncomplicated state. However, you've aligned yourself with understanding of our journey of peace in the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking unto perfect peace, should be able to comprehend the purpose of our present state. Because it's very important to be able to achieve the final state, to achieve the expected state. You must understand the present state of our being. Looking like complicated, do we ask ourselves why? How is this possible? When you know what is good, but yet you're experiencing the complicated, should we get to understand our why? Our why is only affirming of the solution we already have. It's not a new problem, but the solution going back to the problem of affirming the solving of the problem. Why? I'm not saying that we are a problem. I'm saying we are going back to the enabler of the solution. When I say a problem, we start so maybe thinking, oh, are you saying we're going back to our problem? Were we a problem before? It looks like a problem because we are now trying to confirm our solution, but of which is the solution looking like a problem? I hope I'm making myself understood here. And if you have any question, we still get to communicate. It's all about communication, therapeutic communication, to understanding of what the inside of every individual is giving out of positivity. There is this relation we have of positivity, of basic positivity that we have to be able to express. Like a seed grows into a great tree and corrects every other positivities we have that others don't perceive it like positivity, because there's a good to me that is not good to you. Now we look onto the good that we all relate with to edify every other good we have or mistakes. He's telling the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. So, understanding all that, do we get to the video of today? The video of last Wednesday was kind of Wednesday, Thursday, because I had to go out and visit the monument, the newest monument in Boston, Massachusetts, and amazingly, it was Women's Day, and Lord Coretta and Lord Martin Luther King Jr., both of them, is the statue of embrace. And it was very, very honorable to be there, like in their presence. You could not tell. The beautiful thing about the statue was you cannot tell if it's a white or a black. I really appreciate, I really appreciate the maker of the monument. So it's very important for us to acknowledge each other of every good that we have in store, of what we're trying to express. Sometimes you start expressing something and someone else just comes in and make it even more elaborated, and it excites you. We begin to realize we are pieces of each other, but only of wellness. We can never relate of a complicated states. It's impossible that if I make a gun and you take the gun and shoot someone else, elaborating on the purpose of a gun does not make us relate. It only shows how diverse we are, of more some more complicated than others. I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to express of what I mean by elaborating on someone else's expression. Should not be of complicated. Complicated is not relative. It's more of showing how more complicated you are of your own state of being. Every contradictions are our diverse existence, our diverse, should I say existence, fictionals, our diverse fictionals, because they are not in existence. They are only fictionals, imaginations that we it's like a dream. It's like it didn't happen. No bad thing happens, even though it looks like it happens, but it doesn't happen. We get to the place of understanding that with time, while we age, we grow of knowledge, and many things begin to be of past and not of reality. What progresses to the future is only positivity. I hope we understand royalties. It is very important to know what we elaborate on each other, of each other, which is of perfect peace, because we are advancing to perfect peace. Peace turning the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. The nightmare will reverse to sweet dream, and the sweet dream will become our true reality, which is who we are. Daydreaming, reversing back to true reality, and it should only be of perfect peace. So last Wednesday and Thursday video, it was kind of on Thursday. I made it on Wednesday, but finally got out on Thursday early in the mornings. And I was so tired that day, and you could tell that I was really exhausted. It was really an interesting day that I had. So now this today is March 15, a week after last Wednesday. So we know it's all about St. Patrick's Day. it's interesting how it's kind of seem like a spiritual event, a spiritual day, but it's both traditional, cultural, and spiritual. So of understanding that with the symbols of that day, you have the leprechaun, you have the pot of gold, you have the rainbow, and the Saint Patrick himself of a priest. So it's kind of more of like a collective of us, not just personalized, but more of collective. It's not just spiritual or cultural or secular or Christian or religion. It's all of us. It's kind of a universal holiday that celebrates our diversity and at the same time our well-being. Celebrating in the name of celebrating meaning awareness. Celebration only means awareness, awareness and happiness. Awareness and happiness in the sense of that if it has to do with a disorientation, it will be of your happiness of knowing your diagnosis is to seek wellness. That's how you celebrate your diversity, not just keeping it. You're not happy to know that you're sick to keep it. You're happy of knowing your illness to seek the wellness. Because if you don't know what you have of a disorientation, how do you cure it? How do you heal from it? So this beautiful St. Patrick's Day, it's not just about saints. It's about our complicated state reversing to uncomplicated, our state of disability recovering with rehabilitation back to ability of positivity, of perfect peace. It's about uncomplicated to it's about complicated to uncomplicated. I hope you're understanding royalties of peace in the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. It's kind of more of like it's kind of like Halloween. It's kind of like Halloween. It's like celebrating the dead in their ability to resurrect. The dead never die. The dead is more of like being on coma. You get to resurrect. No one dies forever. You get to resurrect. But now the earliest you resurrect, the better. The better. Every possibility, every endeavor we enable is healing to our collective. Individually healing to our collective healing. It's not just about self, it's about us all. But yet, do not enable a complicated grief. Do not try to become of low self-esteem or arrogant pride. Maintain humble pride. Maintain humble pride is very important. So today, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about St. Patrick's Day, talking about the clover, talking about the clover. The clover, it's a leaf. I did wear green. I hope you all realize that. I did wear green to reflect this day, which is March 17. St. Patrick's Day is March 17. And to honor St. Patrick, a human being of his goodwill, before you see him like a spiritual, a Catholic religious one, we know him like a human being. And I did enable a clover kind of looks like this. You have the you have the three side of the three sided clover, and you have the I think four sided and three sided, and it's like a heart. If you take a look at it, it's like a heart. And I did draw also a cassava leaf. I may be familiar with cassava leaves because I come from Africa. Cassava is what the Mexicans call yuca, and it's this root of carbohydrate root that you can eat. It's like yams, like potato, but it's much more It's much more harder. I think you could find it in the stores. It's called yucca or cassava, and it grows but from inside the ground like potato. And for some reason, that reminded me of cassava leaves. The clover reminded me of the cassava leaves. So I had to on Wednesday. Sorry, not Wednesday. Yesterday, I had to run to the. I went to the train station, and there I had singing going on, and it's good to 85. I felt that feeling of of lullaby. Some may get it, some may not get it, right? Sometimes some get it with time, but it's always good to plant this good seed, right? Even if no one expresses um, 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 any relation with your lullaby does not mean that's the end of it. A seed does not just grow right away. You have to always have patience, and you'll be surprised. One day, someone could approach you and tell you, "Do you remember that day?" And you'll be so surprised. You may not even remember the day, but you'll be glad someone is blessed, right? We try to bless each other, blessed of lullaby, of comfort, and not of pain. So it was a snow day, and it was kind of a stormy weather. But I went out to the train station and I had to lullaby. I just believe that we need comfort. It's a world of struggle and stress and call for assistance. Some don't say it. You will not believe. Some don't say anything, but just that singing with time, it heals. It's important because someone doesn't say, I need a smile, doesn't mean they don't need one. No matter how great they are, you'll be surprised. If a commissioner, a leader can get drunk, I tell you, everyone can get weak. Drunkenness is a symbol of expressing our disoriented state, our state of war, the battlefield. You wonder why there's drinking going on in the world. Why do people drink alcohol, driving? It's, it's a difficult way of expressing what you don't want to express, but you express the world. It's like you reflect the world. You find the necessity of reflecting the world in its complicated state. What do you do? The mirror may not want to show you to yourself looking uncombed. But when you stand in front of the mirror looking uncombed, what do you want the mirror to do? Reflect exactly what you are, but the mirror wouldn't really like what they are reflecting of you. But they are hoping that reflecting this to you will help you go and get combed. That's what the mirror does, and it's exactly what we do unto each other. With the other having a ripple, sometimes we reflect it, and not of our desire, but at the same time ensuring that the other heals. And sometimes you could reflect it better. Sometimes when you're exhausted, you reflect it complicatedly before you realize yourself and try to fix yourself, at the same time trying to lullaby them too. It's just what our world is. Sometimes you're weak and you try to edify others in the right way. It goes complicated before you get yourself back right. So whatever we do out here, we should not try to ignore ourselves or feel um, um, depressed or unfortunate, but rather pick up our pieces and get ourselves together and keep on doing the right. Right? There are better ways of expressing our complicated state by not trying to let ourselves keep on being weak. Low self-esteem can really interrupt our enabling and arrogance too. Of too long trying to lullaby someone can get you arrogant. So we try to peace still the storm. Now, I did go and enable this lullaby about rainbow. I did not even remember that St. Patrick's was coming up very soon, even though it was in my mind, but I did not go out there in the name of St. Patrick. But I remember singing about rainbow. And then I said that a beautiful world of colorful people. And when I got back home, like today, I remembered, I was like, oh, that song related to this rainbow and the pot of gold. And wow, I'm so impressed. I was so glad I was able to do that. I kind of feel like even last year, I kind of enabled something like that too about St. Patrick's. It's been so so relating with to me going out towards this time to sing about rainbow and our beautiful color, only a diagnosis seeking wellness. Like I said, the rainbow is looking to be the light, and not just the light alone, but the invisible light even greater. And that was all about the singing. And did come back and went to an African store and got cassava leaves to make some soup with it, remembering that St. Patrick's Day clover is all about green leaf, right? Green, and this cassava leaf looks like clover leaves. So I'm glad I was able to do that yesterday and got back home, felt like I did something about St. Patrick's Day, culturally and spiritual, limiting the mind, peace still in the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking unto perfect peace. And also, it is said that there will be a parade on the 20th, 2 days after St. Patrick's. That will be Sunday. So this Sunday, coming Sunday, there will be a parade in I think South Boston. I hope I will be able to make it. That would be great. That would be very great. And then this Thursday is St. Patrick. So I try to. You will not believe today I listened to All Grains. All Grains who sang, "Ah, let's get together, loving you ever, whether things are good or bad, happy or sad." So it's just all about, getting all of these pieces together, like Pistol in the Storm, seeing the brighter side of all that I've been able to enable to realize that it's all about St. Patrick's. It's all about culture, getting together, right? Good or bad, happy or sad, we are working our way to perfect peace, right? We get to sort out our mistakes and recover gracefully, right? So it's just all green, yeah, all green. So I got to take a look again on this holiday. I understand that it is an Irish an Irish holiday. It's an Irish holiday and all about this young man, our Lord Patrick, who was conceived to a Roman British family, a wealthy family, and was kidnapped by the Irish to Ireland, and there he watched over sheep, and then the Lord a voice, the Lord spoke to him. That's a holy voice, of a good voice of the mind. When you talk to yourself, or our being of perfect talks to you, it's all about good. That's where we all relate. Told him to go to the seashore and there'll be a ship right there waiting for him, and he should get into the ship and return home. And he did that and went home and realized that his father his father and grandfather were all um, spiritual, Christian spiritual related, and so he became one of such of being of spiritual related priest, and did return to Ireland to reorientate them on Christian spirituality, considering Ireland was more of a pagan religion. And he did well, and they embraced him, and his symbol, the Irish symbol is the clover leaves, and so he used the three-sided leaves, the one with the three leaves, the clover with the three leaves. He used it for the symbol of Trinity, God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. But we understand of a journey of peace still in the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. So at the end, it's always three levels, right? Ice, liquid, gas. However, we relate with our being, right, of existence is mostly of three. There's always the three, 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 the big three, the big three. However, we call it, however, we call this state of our being of broken pieces trying to become back one. The cassava leaf has 5 leaves or 7 leaves. They're all compound leaves, right? It relates with us of fallen pieces. And we know of compound leaves and we know of simple leaves. Compound leaves are trying to become a simple leaf, put all together to be one, right? That's what we're trying to do. When we look at things, we see them divided and we know of them becoming one. We're trying to be one, where we go back onto each other and trying to educate ourselves of what is peace. And we begin to relate with peace. And when we begin to relate with peace, we realize that every diverse of us is only keeping us apart. So we try to reverse every complicated of us back to of perfect. And then this holiday, we know it's symbolized of the leprechaun. I understand that there was a story about the leprechaun of a man and a woman and his wife who met a leprechaun, and the leprechaun asked them what they want. Just they should just enable just um, one wish, but they enabled so much that the leprechaun wasn't happy, called them greedy, and told them to go find gold at the end of the rainbow. That's sad, right? It's like if you ask for too much, it's like you don't want anything, right? So you ask for what? Don't ask for more than what a human should achieve. Okay, you may end up not with nothing. If you're trying to catch a cloud instead of getting a mansion, you may end up with nothing, right? So always ask for what a human should be able to have. I hope you're all understanding. Yeah, so now there's another story also about the same leprechaun of the of I think this other story about the pot of gold is a I think the scientific expression which is from I think Michigan.gov. The first one I just explained, I got it from King 5. I think king5.com is what this writer said. And all these reading I did get from articles like from the weddingring.com and the readingeagle.com. So I'm going to put all that in the description. So understanding all this, this last story about the scientist way of explaining the leprechaun says that when the sun shines at 42 degree, at 42 degree, the sun rays able to interact with water droplets and make a rainbow. And the rainbow is never completed because the degree 42 is very low to show a whole circle. So it ends up showing just an arc of the sun, like half, like just half of the sun, the arc shape, instead of a circle because of the 42 degree. Interesting, right? We come with so many ideas, but at the end, we realize that it's all about trying to make a circle. We're trying to find that wall. We're trying to find that one existence of us, of battlefield free, knowing that the rainbow goes back to the sun and that the sun relates to the gold, right? And so it's interesting. Even the pot of gold, right? To follow the rainbow to the pot of gold is like following the rainbow back to the sun, right? So peace turning the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking onto perfect peace. Looking at these two beautiful expression, this the writer of the article, the writer of the article did say that they think that it means that whatever you work hard for, you achieve. right? Follow the rainbow to the pot of gold means the good work you do achieve good, right? Which is great. I really appreciate that mindset. So this Irish mythology, it's all about us. No matter where it comes from, we all enable this beauty of existence. And the more we add on to, we elaborate more only of good, right? So understanding all this about the clover being the Irish symbol, the leprechaun, the pot of gold, and St. Patrick, a reality human being, not fictional. So all of this, fiction or no fiction, a lesson and a blessing we must enable and not keep the mistakes, but rather reverse the mistakes to lessons and we heal, advancing to perfect peace. Our end goal is perfect peace. So hand to hand, we all work together. I hope this beautiful expression today it helps us understand and what St. Patrick is all about. We also from Wikipedia. I did also get information from Wikipedia. Like I said, I'm gonna put this in the description. So it's a cultural and religious holiday. So we all can honor this day, honoring our goodwill of bestowing the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. Does the pot of gold really exist? It's the pot of gold is perfect peace. It's like it does not exist, but it does exist. We have experienced this by the little drops of goodness that we have. Can we enable everyone to really become of perfect peace when everyone keeps dropping down? And we understand there's addiction, right? They said on this day people get drunk and the holiday is almost losing its effectiveness. But what we understand is the lesson enabling. When you don't want to see the diagnosis, that means you are struggling with complicated grief. But when you're able to accept your diagnosis and seek wellness, that is what the day is all about. The drinking on this day, they said that over drinking is being done on this day. If you understand what the drinking is, it's only expressing our disorientated existence of being, how struggling we are in this disorientation. The earliest we recover from it, there's rehab. We need rehab to recover from this complicated state. And that is what it is. Our healing back to perfect peace is the following the rainbow to the pot of gold. There is rehab and people heal. Those that are still struggling, we know we fall in different pieces, some greater, some smaller. Those that are able to heal, they stand and encourage those that are still struggling to keep on enabling themselves to reorientation. It takes reorientation. No one wants to harm anyone, but we only try to enable each one of us to recover gracefully. Don't let yourself to be hurt by someone because it only gives them more addiction. So we try to enable ourselves not to be hurt by others, at the same time trying to encourage them to heal. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Your heart is perfect peace. Your heart will never be disorientation. If you think your heart is disorientation, that puts you in the place of diagnosis, of seeking wellness. And it's not a crime because we all have this state of disorientation of different pieces. Our recovery is very important. Let's follow each other to the wellness of perfect peace, our gold, golden sun, the gold. So the clover, the green, evergreen, evergreen, evergreen. We want to be living and not dead. Be still in the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. I hope you do have a beautiful St. Patrick's Day, honoring this Irish holiday. Adds onto our peace still in the storm, back to peace that has no storm, not only self, but collectively. Cultural is collectively. We are all related. Pick out every good relating of every culture is how we understand our basic foundation while reversing every complicated back to uncomplicated. Peace still in the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. Thank you for watching.